Why do some men sabotage their lives without even realizing it? Why do they repeat the same mistakes, blame others, and never grow? Maybe the answer isn't found in the intellect, but in something deeper: emotional immaturity, mental habits, and a fear of change. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." This phrase captures the essence of the ignorant man, not lacking intelligence, but awareness. Today we'll explore 6 clear signs of a man trapped in his own unconsciousness. As you listen, ask yourself, do you see these signs in others or in yourself? Because often, the most dangerous kind of foolishness is the one we live in without even noticing. Before we begin, subscribe to Beyond the Mind so you don't miss more insights on personal and spiritual growth. Now, let's begin. The first sign: he thinks he knows everything. One of the riskiest traits of the foolish man is the belief that he has nothing left to learn. He confuses confidence with wisdom, opinion with truth, and noise with knowledge. He talks a lot but listens little. He mistakes memorized facts for real insight and sees every disagreement as a threat. Instead of staying open, he clings to his biases. He rejects new ideas, ignores advice, and surrounds himself only with those who agree with him. Carl Jung observed that most people judge rather than think, because thinking is hard, and the foolish man avoids effort. But here's the bitter truth: the man who thinks he knows everything understands very little. The fool stays stuck in his illusions, repeating the same mistakes. The wise man, instead, challenges himself. The second sign: the fool never takes responsibility. No matter what happens, he always finds someone else to blame. His relationships fail because of women. His career stalls because of his boss. His finances struggle because the world is unfair. He's always the victim, never the cause. But this isn't just denial. It's running from himself. Jung explained that people will do anything to avoid facing their own soul. And for the unconscious man, accepting responsibility would mean admitting his own role in his suffering, too painful for his fragile ego. But in doing so, he gives up the power to change, because the moment you blame others, you lose control over your life. The wise man adapts, learns, and transforms. The fool resists, rejects, and remains stuck. The third sign: poor emotional regulation. Emotional impulsiveness is a hallmark of the foolish man. He reacts before thinking, gets angry easily, takes offense quickly, and unleashes emotional outbursts that ruin trust and relationships. Whether it's rage, stress, or silent resentment, he's a slave to feelings he doesn't understand. He mistakes volatility for strength, but it's the opposite. As the proverb says, "A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man holds it back." Jung reminded us that what we don't bring to consciousness will control us. And for the man who can't handle his inner world, emotions become fate. He ruins opportunities, breaks bonds, loses peace, and blames others for the chaos he caused. This lack of self-mastery comes from fear of being vulnerable. He confuses firmness with weakness, openness with danger. He never learned to sit with discomfort, so he explodes to feel powerful. But this isn't power. It's immaturity, and it comes at a high cost: missed chances, broken relationships, and a life ruled by reactions, not choices. The fourth sign: the fool surrounds himself with other fools. Tell me who a man spends time with, and I'll tell you who he's becoming. The foolish man surrounds himself with people just like him, those who agree, not challenge. Why? Because wiser people make him uncomfortable. Successful people remind him of his failures. Honest people shatter his illusions. So he avoids mentors, mocks ambition, and would rather be the smartest among the weak than the least experienced among the strong. Jung explained that we unconsciously absorb the energy of those around us. And if you're immersed in gossip, apathy, and negativity, those things don't just touch you, they shape you. The wise man does the opposite. He seeks those who push him to grow, who challenge him with honesty, who inspire him. The fool craves comfort. The wise seek challenge. The fifth sign, chasing pleasure without purpose. Immature men are led by impulse. They seek quick highs and instant rewards without thinking of long-term consequences. Whether it's food, sex, or empty entertainment, they want distraction, not development. It's the lower self in control. Jung spoke of the inner battle between the higher self and the shadow. The fool gives in to the shadow, avoids effort, ignores discipline. He doesn't build, he consumes. But pleasure is a trap. Those who can't delay gratification will always be its slaves. True strength comes from moderation. The wise sacrifice short-term pleasure for lasting fulfillment. The fool does the opposite and wakes up full of regret. Comfort dependence weakens him. The more he indulges in fleeting pleasure, the less capable he is of endurance, focus, and resilience. Over time, he loses ambition, rejects effort, and mistakes pleasure for happiness, yet feels more empty. And the modern world fuels this weakness. One tap to escape boredom, loneliness, discomfort. Scroll endlessly, binge content, seek validation, or hide in fantasy. But the soul begins to atrophy when it's never challenged. And in this slow decline, the fool confuses stillness for peace, when really, he's just drifting further from his true potential. The sixth sign, never learning from mistakes. This is the ultimate mark of foolishness, repeating the same behavior and expecting different results. The foolish man fails and keeps doing the same thing. He enters toxic relationships, makes poor financial choices, falls into the same emotional traps. Jung called this the compulsion to repeat, an unconscious urge to relive familiar wounds and patterns. The fool never asks why. He never stops to reflect. He blames the outside world and misses the lesson life is offering. But mistakes aren't enemies. They're teachers. Ignoring them is denying growth. And so life repeats them, again and again, until the pain forces you to awaken. The wise observe, reflect, and evolve. Yet many fools ignore even life's harshest lessons, not just because they repeat the same cycles, but because they never truly listen. They talk too much, interrupt, dominate conversations. Rarely do they ask real questions. They love the sound of their own voice, but fear hearing something that challenges them. That too is a form of stupidity, because listening is the key to growth, connection, and understanding. A man who can't listen can't change. Behind all that noise is often insecurity, the desperate need to be right, to be seen, to feel in control. But constant talking reveals the opposite, a lack of self-awareness and a fear of confronting something deeper than their own opinions. The wise are different. They listen more than they speak. They value silence, reflection, and voices that elevate them. That's why they grow more, understand more, and earn the respect the fool endlessly seeks. So ask yourself honestly, are you falling into any of these traps? Are you avoiding growth? Are you repeating mistakes unconsciously? Because, as Jung suggested, stupidity isn't a lack of intellect, it's a lack of awareness. It's the refusal to look inward, to learn, to evolve. But here's the good news. Awareness is a choice, and the moment you begin to truly see, you're no longer a fool. Stay curious, stay humble, and never stop evolving. The world already has enough fools. If this video made you reflect, leave a like. It's a small gesture, but it makes a big difference. And if you know someone who might need this, share it. Every share is a seed of awareness that might awaken someone else. And remember, growth begins the moment you choose to look within and never stop. See you on the next journey, right here on Beyond the Mind.